I discovered that I'm almost done with this thing. So I think I'll try to finish this thing up tonight after all. Okay. All right. Yeah. By the way, again, when I read the Muslim's words, I'll be using my ugly side. When I use my words, I'll be using this side. And when I do his words, I'll be using a mock foreign accent. It's not really Arabic. It's kind of like a mixture of Arabic and Chinese. So it's mock foreign accent when I do his words. Okay. So when Jesus was praying to God in the garden on Gethsemane, telling his disciples to sit and watch him pray, and fell on his face was Jesus' patootie in the air too. My God, you just keep on confirming my point over and over again. Sad old man you are. To have your patootie in the air, you have to be in a bow when you fall on your face. Where in the Injil does it say Jesus was in a bow for his patootie to be in the position Muslims have theirs when worshipping the black stone? And if Jesus was in a bow, where was he bowing to? Remember, at that time, the Kaaba, if it truly existed at that time, was full of idols. By the way, can you be on your face with your knees not bent, thus not having your patootie in the air like Muslims? And at that, he responds, "You can't answer that question, I see." Went right into insulting. Only insulting something Oblamer said must result in my never having a future. When he said, there must, make no mistake, there must be no future for those who insult the Holy Prophet of Islam. But hey, he's a Christian, right, liberals? They chose Islam because they chose Islam because it's true that the sun asked permission of Allah to rise again. 1, 3, 1, or 1. Make 0 sense. They do not want to worship a man, a human being, who never said out of his mouth, I am God, or worship me. Why did they put him on the cross? Guess. And no response. And another time, I say this. You need to obey Quran 568 and stand firm upon the Injil, where you will see a way where you can look at God and still live when Jesus was, quote, made a little lower than the angels. I bet you think I believe he is still a little lower than angels. True? By the way, again, if you feel the book, that makes people the book, is corrupt by those types of so-called contradictions, then how, pray tell, can you believe in the clear signs, Quran? Oh, and how does the book, the Bible, convey porn and incest? I mean, it reports something that could be porn or incest, but how does that mean it's okay to be doing porn and incest? So you are you also mocking Jesus because he prayed to the God when fell on his face and prayed to God? When you are on your face, how does that mean your patootie is in the air? Does it say Jesus was in a bow when he fell on his face, so his patootie will be in the air like a Muhammadan? He fell on his face, right? Describe what happens when you fall on your face to pray. Again, more insults. Truth indeed does stand firm against falsehood. If you fall on your face, you risk breaking your nose. However, if you fall on your face with your knees bent, then your patootie will be in the air like a Mohammedan. But where does it say that Jesus had his knees bent? Oh, and where in the Injil does it say that Jesus fell on his face 5 times a day to avoid hellfire? And in what direction? Even if Jesus did have his patootie in the air, how is that telling us to do that 5 times a day to avoid hellfire? How could I continue with such individual who speaks such a way of the mighty prophet of God, Jesus? May God cleanse your heart, because you sure are lost soul, and speak such way of Jesus. How am I mocking? Again, if you fall on your face with your knees bent, then your patootie will be in the air like a Muhammadan. But where does it say that Jesus had his knees bent? Oh, and where in the Injil does it say that Jesus fell on his face 5 times a day to avoid hellfire? And in what direction? Even if Jesus did have a patootie there, how is that telling us to do that 5 times a day to avoid hellfire? How? Now response. Then he says this. Your hate for Islam is obvious, and I feel sorry for you, your kind. Truly, you're those described in the Holy Quran as deaf, dumb, and blind. I see all your videos are dedicated to bashing this beautiful way of life. But again, like the Holy Quran says, quote, falsehood will not stand against truth, and God has promised to protect this religion. That is why, with all this hate and lies, it still grows. Go figure. Again, what have I lied about? Present something that I've said that wasn't truthful to prove that you aren't takiyaing here. I find you so funny because you make absolutely zero sense. Do you continue with your hate? But yeah, do continue with your hate. But remember, Islam will still continue to grow, because falsehood can't stand against the truth. You don't have elementary understanding of Islam, and you sit there reading translated commentary and pass it on as truth. Black cat moment, you said, laughing out loud. So sad and pathetic. I am not here to insult you, but please, next time, before you respread lies, get actual sources, not what David Wood's words. Not what David Wood words. Are you saying that the scenes depicted in the video aren't from the Hadith? I'm talking about that Innocence of Muslims video. I say, are you saying that the scenes depicted in the video aren't from the Hadith? Type into your web browser Kurfa, or Kurfa, UMM, then Kurfa, QIRFA, and see where that leads you. By the way, where have I spread lies? Okay. Now this is from the Persistent Jihadi video I made. He says this. I'm responding to him. I say this. If it's only made, if it's, quote, only made to appear that Jesus went to the cross, go along with the Injil, when Jesus was, as a clear, the quote, clear signs say, secretly taken up to partner, be with old owl in heaven. Well, how is that not deceiving Christians when they obey Quran 568 about standing firm upon the Injil? How is that not deceiving them? Oh, takiyaing one. Yeah, how is that not deceiving them? He seems to be changed the subject here. He says, first of all, stop inboxing me and bring to public what you have to say. In video? Well, that's what I'm planning. Secondly, laughing out loud, expose, of course, with your reliable sources that Yahoo and Google provide. He doesn't think, and I say, are you saying that the Quran of Yusuf Ali, Pickthall, and Shakir are different when on the internet? If so, does it really say kiss the necks instead of strike at the necks? Does it say the earth rotates instead of the sun orbits? Silly old man, I will leave you to continue to spreading your hate and lies. What lies? Can you respond without takiya and show where I have lied, if you aren't takiyaing? Lying for Allah. But remember, at the end of the day, no truth stands firm against lies. Exactly. And thank God. That is why Islam still, and with all its hate and lies and all, continue to be the fastest growing religion in the world. Like Nazi Germany was. I guess that is what you expect from someone. I guess that is what you expect from someone that doesn't want to see reality. Ha, laughing at Takia. This, see, this is why I can't take you serious. That is why I am not really responding to you in serious matter anymore, because you are just plainly silly. We are done here. Fear God and stop being racist. Hate only destroys you. No Muslim I know of wants to talk about Taqiyya. Sunnis usually immediately say it's only a Shiite thing. But when you study Islam, you see that it's a Sunni thing as well. By the way, I agree with you that hate destroys you. Guess what? I don't hate Muslims. Look at my fingertips. Look at my fingertips. Yeah. Look at my fingertips in my videos. Do they look like I've been biting them in rage? Constant rage toward Muslims? Like the quote clear signs says non-Muslims spend their lone time doing? I know a lot of non-Muslims. Not one does as claimed. Let me explain the concept of taqiyya in simple matter. The Quran establishes the concept of taqiyya to protect its believers from harm just for being adherents to the faith. Quote, when Islam began to take hold, the rejectors tried to suppress the movement with a campaign of torture and murder to dissuade any further advancement. They believed that if you could, they believed that if they could force the believers to disavow their faith, they would eliminate the struggle. The Quran addresses this matter by providing the believers way to protect themselves from harm coming to them. Thus, this allowance is in place at any time a Muslim is under duress with a threat of death, recanting their beliefs verbally, but remaining faithful. So no need to renounce my faith unless you plan to kill me. Only then I am allowed to denounce my faith verbally, and as you know, true faith lies within our hearts. Oh, by the way, in Quran 16:106, it says under compulsion. But how under compulsion do you have to feel to deny Allah? What if you met a girl you were really attracted to who said she wouldn't date a Muslim? Wouldn't you, quote, feel under compulsion, unquote, to put 16:106 into gear? How much compulsion are you allowed to put your life over Allah? To shirk by denying Allah, putting your life over Allah. Oh, by the way, what do you think of Quran 16:107? Doesn't that contradict 106? I mean, really, read Quran 107, Quran 16:107. It seems to contradict Quran 106 about how you can deny Allah if it's not in your heart that you really deny Allah. Yeah, in other words, you're lying. Then I say another again. Oh, really? What about martyrdom? What about Bilal shouting, "One"? I bet clear sign 16:106 came later, right? And if it did, do you think Bilal ever thought to himself, "Now you tell me"? Bilal was a black slave of Muhammad, I believe. He was also the call to prayer guy. Anyway, I think I'll quit here. Oh, this is another time. Okay, this is still going. It's still going. Okay. All right. Can I? Yeah, I'll begin this another time. Bye.